Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Guns of Icarus final tournament. Starting a bit early here as our competitors have already decided to go and jump right into the games on Duel at Dawn. I am joined here today by Urs. How you doing, Urs?
Hey, Papa Paradox, I'm doing okay. Typing in Skype windows about various things like where the brackets are. But we do have some pretty sweet matchups today. Um, TFT versus the Bullies. We see interesting. We see Gilder flying today without Brick Hardcastle. I'm not sure if I've actually seen that before. Um, I mean, we've seen some of the other bullies captaining, but usually with someone who is not Gilder or not Brick.
I mean, already starting off, we have the most impronounceable Japanese name for Gilder in the galleon with a carronade Hwacha right side, Hwacha Flak, and a Mercury on the left. And on his teammate, the Rincewind, we have a Junker with Gatling Mortar on the right, Artemis up front, and Artemis Gat on the left. Interesting choice there. And on the Chimichangas, we have Cold Curse pilot. Well, oh, he's not piloting. I don't think I've ever seen that. We have Artemis right side, Artemis on the front, trying to get that Triarch, Mortar, Gat on the left. And on the Rainbow Husky, when a bit out of order, we have a Flamer, Gat on the left, and a Gat Mortar up front.
Yeah, Cold Curse posted in the thread saying that the Flying Dutchmen were forming some kind of alliance to be able to field a team today. I'm not sure who they're allying with. You see the Pyramidian here using the TFDA tag,
Yeah,
which makes me think that they are the Flying Dutchmen. But then, of course, on the Chimichangas, you see. So
nothing.
I don't know what's. Well, okay, on the Chimichanga, you have Erebus and Norwegian Wolf of the Valiant and Northern Air Fleet, respectively. So I guess it's just kind of a mix, rather than one ship per group.
So it looks like Yukamuri is just going to try and occupy that spot right behind the ribs. And we've seen this go one of two ways. It's either, really good for the galleon in that it throws the ships off a bit, and while they're entering, they just get watched or short ranged really quickly, or the galleon just has trouble using such a tight space to try and maneuver.
Yeah, and I have to think part of it is they're trying to field out the Artemis shots from the Chimichangas because triple Artemis will take down those galleon guns so quickly.
Yeah, and there's
And
no time to
the
repair
red
those.
team's Junker just has the. Well, I guess they have two Artemises, but not going to be able to get that front one into arc when they're kind of strafing along the edge of the map.
Rainbow Husky kind of ballsy, just kind of facing his back end towards a Hwacha galleon.
I mean, they're kind of going around this rib, so the Watcher doesn't really have a shot and at that range, it'd probably be pretty easy for them to dodge it.
I mean, that's a lot of explosive damage on the left side. The Flak Hwacha. So I think
Yeah, it's
that.
an interesting loadout, kind of a combination of short and long range.
So I think they're really
You
relying
know,
on that Mercury and the Rincewind to help try and chip away. Chimichanga's taking big hits though, and he is getting absolutely torn to shreds. That Flak, I'm surprised that didn't quite finish him off.
yeah, Rainbow Husky just not in this fight yet. I'm not sure why the Chimichanga should be going back behind the ribs. Rather, he's retreating into just a wide open area, allowing the Galleon to put on a ton of fire
Yep.
and eventually just take it down.
And Rainbow Husky deciding to try and commit to this as pretty much all of the things get destroyed. All of his engines are gone, and now he is subjected to Gat Mortar and bouncing off of scrap. Rough day
The Gat
for
Mortar
the
and
Rainbow
the
Huskies. Did you notice that it was Rainboon, not Rainbow?
Yeah, Rainbow. I know a lot about ponies, but I just have a feeling that's some type of pony thing, like a rain boom. Sounds like just kind of wordplay that seems to be prolific.
Maybe so. Wouldn't surprise me. So now the blue team are 2 kills down. They have to try and. I really think they need to try and exploit that trifecta Artemis on that galleon a tad bit more, and maybe try and cover the Rainboom Huskies' entrance into the fight.
Also, important to note that these are all best of one games, so
Yeah,
they
this
will
is it.
not get another rematch against the Bullies if they lose this one. Also, do you have access to the Guns of Icarus dashboard? You should change the title. Still says Dev Fireside Chat.
I do not. Harass Key, he'll do it. We'll do that right now, actually.
That's okay. Just stay on the camera. I'm messaging him.
There we go. Blue team opting to try and use cloud cover, I think, as they collect themselves after that previous engagement. Bit of a rocky start there.
Yeah, I mean, red team does, even though the Chimichangas has that triple Artemis setup, the red team really does have the superior long range firepower just by virtue of the Galleon's Flak Merc versus the Rainboom's Brawly DPS Gatling mortar build. So the blue team's going to have to get in close if they really want to get anything done here.
Indeed, that galleon, despite its only long-range shredding damage coming from that merc, still puts down a metric shit ton of DPS.
And I mean, the double Artemis Merc Flak is going to do, it's going to do a pretty good job taking down the guns as the blue team comes in. Because even if the Flak's explosive damage does not do very much to the whole armor, it does do reasonable damage against components.
Again, this is such an interesting spot to choose to engage. I mean, they're pretty wide open. They have 3 angles of attack.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, they do have these ribs, so red team can maneuver around them depending on which angle the blue team decides to come in through. I don't know, it gives them a lot of options depending on how they want to go into a particular engagement.
Wow, Cristorio destroying a lot. 2 components left on the TFDA Rainboom Husky as it coasts behind that rib into the Rincewind. And Chimichanga is really disconnected from this entire engagement.
Yeah, and I feel like the strategy from the Rainboom and Chimichangas is just not what they should be doing here. You see the Pyramidion going in, trying to fight at close range with the Chimichangas trying to provide support fire, but he just cannot consistently get the Artemises onto any of these ships, with them constantly moving around with all the cloud cover and the ribs providing hard terrain. Chimichangas needs to go in with Pyramidion so they can both engage with Gat Mortar, and I think that's the only way they're going to accomplish anything against this. The red team is holding up in this position.
I agree. Or they need to, get better angles, because they were trying to shoot through ribs to the red team, who were like literally on the opposite corner of the ribs. Chimichangas is, I think, hopefully they didn't see me. He's praying at this point.
Where are these mines coming from?
Back of the galleon, I'd assume. Yeah. So they throw a couple mines into the behind the Juggernaut area. Thank you to Kivias, changing that stream title for us.
The end of season tournament! Exclamation point.
Still more correct than Dev Fireside Chat, I think.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't know what exactly this tournament's name was. It didn't seem like it was explained very clearly in the thread. I thought it was the Muse Invitational, but apparently that is incorrect. And we just, both these teams putting a little bit of disabling fire onto each other. Nobody able to accomplish any lasting damage at this range. And both teams just taking advantage of those ribs, navigating around, coming in and out of cover. There's no... blue team, this is kind of been how the game has been going. It's red team sitting in the spot kind of in the, what is this, the southeast side of the map, between the Juggernaut and the ribs. Blue team just kind of out in the middle of the map, trying to find an opening, trying to find a way to come in, and just having a lot of trouble. And when they do, not coming in together, not coming in synchronized.
You can see Rainboom Husky having a bit of troubles there with the that one chunk of rib that's like right on the edge of map that you can sometimes sneak by.
This map in Periton, just there's some of the sketchiest places on the edge of the map to try to get around. See, and again we see Rainboom Husky. Why? He's going in by himself. He's gonna get double teamed.
Chimichanga, man.
If I was Brick Hardcastle, I'd say, no, I'm not gonna try to do a British accent, because that would probably it'd just be a bad idea. But
Rainboom Husky, what are you doing? That's Brick Hardcastle.
Oi, mate.
Oh, this is deteriorated to bad accents already.
Got the git, mate.
And now Yukamuri is not even worrying about Rainboom Husky. He wants to try and get Chimichangas committed.
He should be, though, because Rinsman took an immense amount of damage there. I mean, blue team getting a pretty good engagement, but the red team has decided to split up and engage in 2 1v1 situations.
It's really just how long it takes for that Hwacha to reload at this point. Chimichanga's times are limited. Rinswin just surviving that. And if blue team loses this engagement, this is it. They're out of the tournament. Well, they lose a game in the group stage.
Rainboom unable to finish off the Rincewind, and now Chimichanga's left in a pretty rough situation. I mean, I think that was a smart engagement from blue team, because in general, you don't want to. The Galleon does not want to engage by itself, especially against, say, a Junker. A Junker's a ship that's very maneuverable at close range. A lot more maneuverable than the Galleon. So theoretically, a Junker should beat a Galleon in a 1v1 engagement, but just unable to put down the kill in time before the Pyramidion. It seems like the Pyramidion is maybe the weak link in this game.
I mean, Chimichangas has been lagging a little bit, so I think it's more a team communication thing than any one person's fault.
Well, that's the Jaji. That's the Pyramidion, I believe, is the one who's lagging.
Yep.
There goes the Rainboom Husky.
In a hellfire of Gatling guns.
I mean, O's Rincewind is pretty heavily damaged, and he thought maybe he could just get a real easy kill with that ram. Unable to do it, and now he's sitting out in the open with those engines disabled from that Hwacha volley.
Chimichangas is like, no, you can lie in the bed you made, my friend, and just kind of drives away. Oh, he's backing up.
That was rough.
That was pretty rough. It was a very, communication breakdown, if you will. Led Zeppelin would be proud of the blue team at this point.
So I wonder what's going on. What the next game is going to be.
I think we're heading to Zil and Polaris, because that game just went up. And I don't know about you, but those are some really good teams that I'd love to see.
Yep. And then we can stick in that lobby for Thrall and Zills.
Yep. These are the brackets. So we just came out of bracket 4. And there it is. I think they should star all the competitive games, make our lives easier. So Polaris making a comeback after what seems like a pretty long hiatus.
Sorry, what was that?
Polaris is coming back after a pretty long hiatus, correct?
I mean, they haven't been active in the competitive side of the game, but these are players who are, you see them in game a lot playing pickups. So I'm not sure inactive would be the right word.
Well, in the competitive scene, I'm talking about.
Gonna be interesting to see how they fill up a full team, though.
Yeah.
But I guess they do have CC Raging Geek now coming online. But yeah, we haven't seen Polaris play competitively in a long time now. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do. In the past, they were one of the really, really early teams who used Aspire effectively. They ran double Spire in Cogs a number of times. I believe they also ran it in the Sky tournament. Although now you see them going with a Goldfish Galleon.
I remember just watching in awe as they used Aspire Carronade effectively way back in the day, and I was just like, this shouldn't be happening.
They just rushed fools down.
It was hilarious, because like they'd rush like a Pyramidion, and then they would just dance with it because they could turn quicker in really close quarters. It was
you can
comical.
Almost say that Russians be Russian.
True.
Am I right? Yeah.
Ugh.
A bottle of, well, again, I'm going to try not to offend our foreign audiences here. Think very carefully about the references I make.
So I'm just looking at the, oh, here we go. We have Zill's Merrymen. I'm looking at their clan history. Started more as a group who played with Northern Air Fleet to compete in competitive matches. They were the Merry Northern Storm way back in the early COGS days, and then eventually they branched off because they had enough to support their own team.
This document. Any history of your ship or ship name? It just says broken submarine. Yes. What does that mean? What? Why?
Merrymen, not skilled at filling out forms.
What are your ship names and pronunciation? Broken submarine. How? Brakin submarine? Submarine?
Favorite map weapon. All of them happy face. This was a good idea. So, on the end I got shot, we have a Carronade mortar up front and an Artemis on the left. On the broken submarine, we have a Artemis Mercury cannon. That should be interesting. On the front. Mortar Gat on the left. They thought they'd bring it around just for spitefully. They're like, you know what? We can't go into the game without it. We'll just throw it on the left. And on the Volpez, we have the Hwacha Goldfish with Carronade Flare on either side. And on the Galleon, the Freedom Call, we have Hwacha Carronade on the right side. Artemis Lumberjack on the left. That's going to be interesting with a flare on the rear. So, do you think those Lumberjacks will end up doing enough?
Isn't the Volpes used that ship name Goldfish? Isn't that used by another team as well? I want to
Uh,
say a goldfish named Volpes.
I think Valley. I'm
Yeah, I want to say Valiant
guessing at
maybe.
this point. Because yeah, I remember seeing it. That's yeah.
But yeah, double lumberjack. I mean, the way the game is now, lumberjack, it's very effective against the balloon and also very effective against whole armor. That flechette damage modifier. So, theoretically, you should be able to get kills with double lumberjack. The Artemis will be able to supplement a little bit of explosive damage. It won't be as fast as the kills won't be as fast as say a lumberjack flak, but does give you a little more variance. Like let's say your gunners aren't on point the entire time. One lumberjack misses a few shots, you have another lumberjack to come in and make sure that whole armor goes down,
I
rather than
almost
let's say
think
wasting the flak shots.
I almost think that they're gonna like split the lumberjacks and just try and get them 1 inch off the ground, and hopefully, I don't know, maybe let Volpez clean up. But Volpez in and of itself doesn't have that much DPS to its name.
What's the other thing? The Volpez has a Hwacha that's a lot of explosive damage. So if one of those lumberjacks does take down the whole armor of the goldfish's target, the Hwacha should be able to get a kill.
Volpez taking quite a few hits from the end. I got shot. He's dual arcing. Oh, the dual Artemis.
Yeah. So talking about the red team's loadout a little bit, this is actually a loadout that I like to run a lot with the long range Pyramidion and combined with the short range Pyramidion. I think it gives you a lot of options. Because traditionally when you're running double Pyramidion, it can be very difficult to chase down a target and get both teams' gun arcs on them without, because they both fire from the front and they
Whoa,
both
look
they're
at
very
the
fast. They
freedom
charge straight
call.
forward.
Man, just getting all sorts of disabled by the end. I got shot.
It can be very difficult for two Pyramidians to get their guns on the same target without blocking the other Pyramidian shots, is what I'm trying to say. So what the long range Pyramidian does, it allows them to engage at different distances, keep out of each other's way
This
very
is
very effectively.
this is pretty amusing right now. The end I got shots kind of like riding the edge of the map while just kind of like sitting at a 40-degree angle to their ships, letting their Artemises tear into them.
And the other advantage to a long range and short range Pyramidian combo is that if the short range Pyramidian has long range weapons on the side, it allows you to snipe while keeping one of the Pyramidians pointed towards the target. So if let's say the blue team decides to rush in, the broken submarine is already pointing towards them, and it gives the Anda shot time to turn their short range weapons to the targets as they come in.
Man, provided any of the competitive teams, I don't know if Zilsmarian will be able to take this same build out again, because I feel like it has some holes in it,
Ooh.
i.e.
Volpez
watch
taking
it
a
to the
big
face.
ram off. Big ram off the top of that little building there.
Volpez with a shred of health.
I feel like the Galleon has not really been doing anything this game. Like he's just not like the red team's properly zoning him out pretty well with this terrain, and the Galleon just has not been able to put it down any consistent lumberjack shots.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the red team's balloons have been very healthy. Maybe just taking like a random single lumberjack shot.
I feel like they should have been in somewhere a lot more wide open for their sake. I mean, they just subjected themselves to more Artemis, though, so it's this weird trade-off. It's like, where would you
I'm
want to
not
be
sure,
if you had
though.
to use that Galleon? And I got shot, choosing to use its front side now. Gonna be coasting into the Freedom Call. Freedom Call's arc's gone. And I got shot helping correct them, however, with that ram. Carronade raining in it.
Yeah, and they got shot. That light carronade taking down Freedom Call's balloon. Volpe is unable to get any sort of Watcha arcs, giving Zil pretty much free reign on this. Ooh, Volpe is taking a shoot vent kind of stomp onto the Pyramidian.
That's a mixed
does actually
bag,
knock
especially
him-
when you have that much health.
You know, it does actually get Zill off of the Galleon for a moment here, allowing Freedom Call to rise up, get his balloon back up.
Excellent
But
play.
now they have to. That being said, now they have to just fight the Pyramidians again.
Yeah, and then they are just unrelenting, just sitting right on top of the Freedom Call. Surprised we're not seeing the broken submarine using its side guns at this point. Big Watcha barrage on the end. I got shot. Everything disabled there.
He's
There you go.
actually there using them right now.
Yeah, just switched. Ooh.
Oh, whoa!
Nice hit from Volpez with that ram, just finishing him off. Broken Submarine needs to make a decision quick here. Does he try and stay, or does he stay, or does he go now?
He has to. He has to leave. Let's see what does Lambert have here. He has hydrogen. Hydrogen does not help much here. If he had shoot vent, I think that would help a lot more in trying to get away.
Neither did two watches as you're trying to run away, as all of the Broken Submarine's engines go down, and Volpez adding right to that hull damage. Freedom Call saying, "We survived this day, Red Team." I almost feel like the Red Team shouldn't have closed the gap. They should have just sat at longer range. I mean, Broken Submarine was pretty comfortable with that Artemis Merc at long range, but the minute they went
yeah,
short.
I mean, the red team has a superior long range disabling, and the Galleon is a ship that's very vulnerable to long range disables. So, I think if they had just stayed at medium range, stayed at long range, they would have had a pretty. I mean, but that's the thing. The red team had the advantage that entire engagement, and it was just at that last second somehow the Volpes got the kill on me and they got shot. I didn't even see that happen.
And I got shot
again,
raining in on Freedom Calls with that ram. Not a lot coming of it, however. And he's just trying to sandwich him in a
basically
vengeful fury.
Knocked him into the building. So as his balloon goes down, he lands on top of the train and takes additional impact damage.
Nice backwards watcher from Volpez, getting I got shots engines as it's just ghosting backwards.
Yeah, Volpe's just kerosening the hell out of here, making it back to the Freedom Call's spawn on the other side of the map.
So he needs to not slip up and hit this building like he's about to. And the Broken Submarine is just going to help chase him down. And there he goes. Yeah.
I think Fisher maybe needs to adjust his rear view mirror a little bit.
I think that would
Objects
help.
in mirror may be
Slightly to the left
more
of.
dangerous. May appear more dangerous than they really are.
The bottom of the mirror just says terrain, comma, man. Freedom Calls opting not to walk into the long range onslaught of the red team.
I don't think they have a choice. I think they're
Volpez
already
is, however,
kind of,
he's getting fairly aggressive for how defensive Freedom Call is being. I mean, if Volpez goes...
Volpez, what are you doing? Right in the Big Ben.
At this point, if Volpez initiated on either of the red team would just like slink behind that building, and then Freedom Call would have no shots. Freedom Call is getting torn apart.
So Broken
Absolutely torn
Submarine
apart.
is kind of a little separated from his ally here. I think if the Volpes gets a... he doesn't see him. Yeah, turn. If the Goldfish gets a good watch volley on the Broken Submarine, and both him and the Galleon focus him down...
Yeah, but the Broken Submarine's already backing up. I mean, it would take a big misstep from red team at this point if Volpez overcommits.
It would take a Lumberjack from the Freedom Call on the Broken Submarine, which is not happening.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, super hard to get shots in there, especially when you're getting like triple Artemis.
No, he has a...
Merc.
He has a... Oh. Yeah, I guess that's
And
the problem
Volpez
here.
is stuck, I believe.
The Freedom Call just completely unable to keep any of their guns up, with the anti-got shot support fire constantly taking them down with that double Artemis.
And the Broken Submarine just keeps sniping that front gun out.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the blue team can do here.
This is like that Shining scene where it's Jack Nicholson on the other side of the door. They're just right beside each other.
I mean, what it is, this is almost just a build not a build order win, but like a ship loadout win. Because
Yeah,
both these blue ships are heavily reliant on their heavy weapons. Those heavy weapons take a very long time to rebuild, so the red team's taking advantage of that by bringing old
disable.
disabling guns and old disabling guns that are light weapons. So if their own guns get disabled, they can rebuild them much more quickly than the blue team can.
This is a weird kind of quad fire going on. I mean, completely broken engagements. Zill's just literally concentrating on making that galleon's life miserable. I feel like if Volpez comes around that corner, he's gonna get shot by the end. He got shot. What is he doing? I mean, I'm trying to think of a viable strategy for Volpez at this point, but his ally is just so damaged. That Watcher Burst didn't do anything. I mean, he hit the end, I got shot, and it went across the front, but all of its guns are still viable. As it looks like Zill's gonna try and sit on the Volpez.
Yeah, we do. So we're finally seeing the Freedom Call now, having some of its guns up long enough, putting a little bit of fire onto the broken submarine, taking out its balloon. Now Volpe is trying to disengage the end. I got shot to go team up on the broken submarine, but hits a building on his way. Decides to stick around.
He is trying to get his Artemis on there. Freedom Call is making broken submarines' life miserable. Oh, Volpez taking hits. That mortar's going to be raining in. He needs to get that hull back up stat, and just gets it back up in time. Just trying to break arcs, holding W.
So this is once the Volpe is going down again, succumbing to the Gat mortar fire. This is one strategy the blue team maybe could keep in mind. The Artemis Mercury of that the red team is using right now, they do not have very good vertical arcs. So if the Freedom Call is able to knock out the balloons with the Lumberjack, the red team will not be able to return fire. But that relies on them putting very consistent Lumberjack fire onto a target and just keeping them down, not allowing them to. Now you see the broken submarine got a little
Zill
bit
got
of
stuck or something. Something sketchy
a
happened
little
there.
bit of a relief when these clouds come in, blocking the Lumberjacks the view, and now just Artemis going off again, taking Lumberjacks down, and they've kind of lost their opportunity.
Well, I feel like Freedom Call could have just kept laying into Broken Submarine. I mean, he switched targets to help Volpez, but then he allowed Broken Submarine to get back up in that time period. And Volpez, as if on cue the meat grind. We should have a meat grind music, like a jingle.
It was kind of the map, right? I mean, because a cloud just flew right over the broken submarine, and the galleon lost its spot. So that's why it was unable to keep the Lumberjack fire on.
Volpez running to through hell and high water. Broken Submarine laying in with that gat, and I got shots. Artemis are on repair at this point, I believe. Now there's a weird lull.
Well, Volpe's managed to take down the broken submarine side guns. I mean, it got a little. Well, I think that's about it. Or not. No mortar shots? Okay. Freedom Call now coming back in, bringing their close range side. Something they maybe should have done earlier, but we see some watches going off. We see some carronades going off.
And there's the Artemis just raining into the Freedom Call. We'll see how long it takes for everything to get disabled on that boat. Volpez. A lot of that watch are missing. I think nerves are starting to get to the gunner of that boat.
Yeah, you also have to wonder in games like this. You have Zill's Merry Men, a predominantly American team, and Polaris, a predominantly Eastern European team. So you have to wonder how the lag factors into this, playing on America's servers.
Yeah.
And we see Zill's Merry Men taking it 5-1 against Polaris. Do we know how the first was this the first game in this group?
I think so.
What's next?
Thank you.
One
Players.
sec.
What's fun, guys?
So are you gonna file into the same lobby, or do we have to move with them? Oh, there, we moved
I
with
think
them.
we have to move.
We could have just had a mod reset the name.
Can mods reset name? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they can put a new name. I think it just resets it to the name of the person who created it.
Oh, maybe.
Well, you're a mod. Can't you figure that out?
Yeah, I could press it, but then I'd have to file a report. Paperwork.
Okay, so that was Periton, so that must have been the second game in the group. But I don't know what the first game was. Actually, I'm just gonna look it up. Let me scroll up here.
TCD and Bully Boys.
Okay.
Looks like that's where
First
we're
one
headed.
was Polaris and Thralls. What was that?
I think we're headed to TCD and Bully Boys.
No, man. Thralls versus Zill is coming up.
Thrall's in a game already?
'Cause-
No? Okay.
Well, no, because they're in the same group as Zill, and we just casted the game from that group. So they would be the next game.
This is like... I'm trying to think of like a market analogy where you just randomly pick things.
Oh, it's like a a la carte.
Yeah.
A la carte casting. We just a bunch of games happening, and I'm just like, no, I don't. I really don't need the Learning Channel. I really don't need Hallmark. I just want HBO. Can I please just get HBO? I just come on. I just want to watch Boardwalk Empire and True Blood. Just get this other stuff out of here. I don't need 800 channels about like here's a 24/7 channel of the weather in Ireland. No, I don't need that.
I need that.
Hello, hello.
Watch the moons. Well, I lost it. I lost the accent. It's gone. I tried.
I like how you
I
like
it for
had
just a
an
moment.
aneurysm as you were saying that. You're like, oh, 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 oh.
Well, I was trying to make the accent work, and my brain's just like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that, Dave.
So let me see if I can find the Glowwater Thralls entry in this.
Yep, it's
Beautiful. No, I'm not talking about the game. I'm talking about their entry in the
in the spreadsheet.
the spreadsheet.
To be honest, this is the game I'm most looking forward to watching. I think in this whole group stage.
I like how there's just massive spaces in between things.
Yeah, what? Why? Why
I
is
don't-
what?
Google Docs broke, man.
Google Docs? Well, the problem is that it resizes the whole row to the size of the tallest cell.
Oh.
So there's one cell that's really tall, and the others all really short. So all the other ones have this blank space, which would be solved by making the cells wider, or by using something that was not Google Docs.
Well, I have Sir, I have TCD.
Let's see, Zills. Let's look at. Let's see. Let's look at the Glowwater Thralls.
We can give a brief history of the Glowwater Thralls.
No, I want to see what they wrote though.
I don't think that they have anything. There's a massive...
What good is any of this?
I don't. Well, it would be nice
Alright, we have
if every
Zill.
team did it. And it was organized.
He
That's
did.
what we did.
They joined all manually. Hello, hello.
We
Yeah,
timed
we
it
time it.
perfectly.
You time it perfectly.
Oh, okay. So this is kind of a... See, it's
Then I
kind
better
of a
things to
joke
do.
then.
Yeah, it's
Hold on,
basically
I
I
all we do
forgot
during
that
training
in game it
sessions.
doesn't let me.
Alright, guys.
Well, it doesn't
brush
let me
match.
change the
Dude, if you could
excited?
train that with like
audio
figuring out
settings.
lag and everything,
I
it'd be
remember this
insane.
happening with Howard when we were casting.
Hell yeah.
So looking at the
All
Zills
spawning
and
in the
Merry
right
Men, their
spots.
answers in this spreadsheet, who's your biggest
I feel like
competition
the
in
last
this
time I
event?
was in this match
Yes.
with this
Any
group,
competitive history with clans you'll be facing? Yes.
Dun dun dun.
There we go. I'm gonna mute the
Any
lobby.
history of your ship or ship
Temporary.
name? Yes.
Oh, they're the worst. They're so mean.
This is a serious tournament and you will give me serious answers for me to reference when I have nothing else to talk about.
Optimally, yes.
Do not make levity of this situation.
This one time, Yusuke went to take a shower 15 minutes before a tournament. ... Zill was not happy.
Well, if you're going to be on camera, you want to look pretty.
Right?
Man, look at Yusuke's outfit. Yusuke's outfit is out of control.
Hmm. He looks like what I think Bansky would look like. Straight
No, because
artist.
if Vansky looked like that, people would like he's stealthy. He doesn't want to be seen. If he dressed like a eclectic,
Raver.
an eclectic raver, like a Home Depot color palette.
he needs a
People
soother.
just. I mean, this is like some Lady Gaga stuff going on here.
I feel like Zill is going to be much more practical with a gas mask. Yeah.
I mean, note how the entire coat is just lined with bullet reams, like 8 of them. They're like Cloud from Final Fantasy with zippers, except they're all just reams of bullets, just completely unnecessary. And I bet it makes that
They're
coat
preloaded
pretty-
in the gun. Why are you bringing all these bullets? Don't judge me. He said
like
defiantly.
they're all around his waist. Like you can't find a belt. I don't know. Oh, we're going to game.
Okay, I'm gonna unmute this now.
You know, I'm not sure why we're running off-stream games. These games are pretty short, and they're all best of one.
I feel like
don't know
everyone
about
should
that.
play on Oceanic servers just so everybody's lagging.
Yeah, even footing. Except Cordy, he'll be like, man, casting on the Oceanic server is great. Is there even an Oceanic server? I feel like it's just the European server, like a fake European server.
It just has a post-it note over top of it. Anyway, on the Crown Tyrant, on the Glowwater Thralls, we have Gap Mortar front, or Merc left side. On the Wizard, we have a Hades
The Wizard.
Quacha on the front, Flak on the left, interesting choice there, and a Mine Launcher on the right. Moving on to Zill's team, Dual Artemis on the left side of that Pyramidion with a Carronade Mortar up front. And the Broken Submarine, I assume, once again taking Merc Artemis front side, Gap Mortar on the left. If it ain't broken, don't
Yeah.
fix it.
Yeah. I mean, it worked pretty well in the last game, that short range, long range split. It'll be interesting to see how it works against the red team here, though.
Yeah, the Wizard is going to
I mean-
get chipped away, as we can already see. I mean, I would have liked to see it take Lumberjack or Flak, or just something a little more long range than Hwacha. Just to be able to respond to all those disables. I mean, maybe Merryman just found a good Good build to counteract a lot of these heavy weapon builds that are reliant on, I don't know, galleons or goldfish.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the counter to this is going to be. I mean, really, I mean, I guess if you're bringing those types of heavy weapons, you just need crack gunners who are able to hit those shots almost every time and from very long ranges.
While you're moonshining and hydrogening simultaneously at 1800 meters.
We see Crown Tyrant being very aggressive moving in on the Broken Submarine. Broken Submarine, Captain Lambert hydroing out. Crown Tyrant now moving into
Dribbling.
the arcs of the end. I got shot. Not sure how well the Wizard is contributing to this fight, although a great heavy Hwacha barrage on the
That
end. I
did
got
all
shot.
of nothing. Like it clipped the entire back end, but no engines were disabled.
Well, nothing was taken down, but everything on the ship was pretty severely damaged. Ooh,
Big hits. Big hits.
clean
Crown
kill. The Crown Tyrant may be trading his life though, but does manage to get the whole armor back up, and the Broken Submarine's in a really rough situation.
He needs to run, but you can see he was like, no, I'm not turning my engines to a watch. A very smart choice from Lambert.
Well, I don't think there's any good part of the ship to turn towards the Hwacha.
Fair enough, but
Like, if your engines go out, then you can't get your guns in arc, but if your guns go out, you can't shoot anyways.
it's almost like a
Submarine.
predetermined end when you're trying to run from a Hwacha or engage against a 2v1 against a Hwacha.
Yeah, 2v1 with a watch in the mix, there's not a lot you can do. I mean, I think the best thing to do in those types of situations is try to abuse some type of verticality tool, hydro, shoot vent, depending on where the ships are, relative to the height ceiling, but Lambert bringing hydro did not have that option since they're already pretty high up on this map.
Just gonna check, what did the Wizard bring? He's got Drogue Shoot, Kerosene, Phoenix Claw. I almost feel like Drogue Shoot wasn't necessary. Well, I mean, Zill
Who?
has the Carronade. The Wizard. Zill does have a
Yeah, that is
Carronade, but
true.
you shouldn't be letting him get
Well, I
that
think-
close to begin with.
I think that's just one thing being a Spire pilot is with the Spire your guns are pretty low down on the ship, so any sort of change in verticality can pretty easily get your gunners out of arc, more so than other ships. So I think Drogue Shoot is probably just the default for Graphics 30. Crown Tyrant, just staying alive, living to fight another day.
Cueing the spirit of the Bee Gees.
Well, you see, that's Mad Lord Anguissad. Man, he is a longtime veteran of this game, longtime veteran of
Ooh,
the Thralls.
Spire got chipped away real quick with those long range weapons. And I think Blue Team at this point is just going to opt to make them traverse the most ground they can, so that they can just open up those long range weapons for as long as possible.
And you see Scrimscraw's decision here, knowing the Blue Team has the dual, has 4 long range weapons, decides to try to get a kill on the Blue Team before he dies, but is unable to do it. A very, very aggressive play. And also knowing that the Spire, being such a slow ship, is not going to be able to catch up with him, even if he stays alive, so, you know, rolls the dice, tries to trade up, get an even kill, unable to do it, and now respawning back near the Spire. And now we have a tie game, 2-2. I guess the squishiness of the Spire playing a pretty prominent role there.
Now on
We've
the
got a
battle,
little bit-
Wizard needs to be super cautious, and I'm trying to elucidate how he goes about engaging, because he's doing a very good job of closing the distance as much as possible before he peeks out and not subjecting himself to fire more than he needs to. So very good play from the Wizard. Crown Tyrant seems to
Crown
be lagging
Tyrant.
quite a ways
The Crown
behind.
Tyrant, he's sitting back. He's trying to use his sniper weapons. It looks like.
Well, he's at a very bizarre angle to be utilizing those. And even then, he's
I
subjecting
don't
himself
think
to
this is a good
2v1. And Wizard,
well, essentially yes.
the
blue team
tall
has
Spire
twice-
having trouble peeking behind that arc.
The Zilzmeri men having access to twice as many long-range weapons as the red team, so this does not seem like this is going to be a winning battle for the Glowwater Thralls. They need to find a way to engage at a closer distance, or engage very aggressively, focus someone down. Not doing it.
Oh,
Wizard
there's that
taking some
watch
damage here.
railed into, and I got shot, but only a gun.
But that's the thing. The Crown Tyrant's so far back, the Watcher does nothing.
Yeah.
Unless the Crown Tyrant's able to move in and capitalize on the guns being down. Otherwise, they have to rebuild them.
It's like a old-fashioned Western
Alright,
standoff.
we have Scrimscraw moving in here on Zill. The Wizard coming in as well. Looks like they're going to focus down the brawl-focused Pyramidion.
I'm Tyrant coasting into the end. I got shot. There's the Wizard helping complement. Broken Submarine going to be coming up behind the Crown Tyrant, and that is going to be seal his fate pretty quickly. As soon as
Yeah,
that
the
focus
Wizard
switch.
just... I mean, the Wizard tried to come in from above the ridge, and it just took him too long to get his guns back into arc.
Merrymen are just riding this build to the bank, man. This very disable heavy build is just really throwing off all these heavy weapon builds.
Oh, Crown Tyrant. Reverse Moonshine, reverse Moonshine. No, he's forward moonshining. Oh god.
Jimmy, no.
Jimmy, fend your base, no!
Imitating Destiny requires too much swearing, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, interesting seeing Crown Tyrant moving up this far. Wizard's gonna take a while to catch up, but I guess... Oh man, everyone's rising up. There's peeking over the fence, they're gonna see each other. Blue team's gonna move in and try to get this kill on the Pyramidion.
I mean, they wouldn't be hard pressed at this point. The Crown Tyrant is way overcommitted as he coasts over the top of the arc. Oh, but he's
Now we're seeing some reverse moonshining.
There we go.
Not quite sure of the decision making here. Maybe Scrimscraw's trying to make some sort of bait. Blue team not really falling for it. The Wizard going under the ridge here. I guess Crown Tyrant staying high, trying to distract the blue team.
feel like
as
blue
Wizard
team
gets,
coulda just-
gets a nice watch volley off.
I feel like blue team could have just rode ceiling at that point. Just kind of coasted in and killed the Crown Tyrant.
It's true, but I mean, as we've seen in this group, blue team's playing very conservatively. They're making heavy use of those long-range weapons. They don't want to take any unnecessary risks. Although Anda got shot now, taking a lot of damage from the dual mercs of the Crown Tyrant. No flak, no Hades, no Watcher from the Wizard though.
Red team is in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah. I mean, blue team, it's such a versatile build, such a strong build, something that's so difficult, it's just difficult to deal with. Because they have so many options. They've got long range options, they've got close range options, and they've got them on both ships.
Albeit, I think, like, if I was red team, I'd be trying to focus Broken Submarine every chance I got, just due simply to the short range side being on the left. But man, Zol complements the long range guns on the Broken Submarine so well, so it's so difficult, and you don't have a lot of, like you said, you don't have a lot of options.
Well, that's the thing, is even when they get into close range, the Broken Submarine's been doing a very good job of turning to the side, getting his gunners on those close range side weapons, so...
Like, you never want
I mean,
to just focus on your gimmick and ignore something that you took as a contingency. Like, we saw BFS rolling with mines a lot, but then we saw, I think it was Gilder over-relying on mines, and instead of switching to a short-range side and just cleaning up kills, he would just be overcommitted to
Right.
using mines.
Also interesting, seeing... historically, Zil has told me he does not enjoy flying Pyramidians, but...
Yeah, I've
see him
heard
running one
that
today.
too. That, and if you're not practicing it when you head into a competitive game, I remember that happened over the course of one tournament, I can't remember, but they ended up switching last minute, and you could tell he wasn't used to it as much as his other ships.
Pretty good watch of volley come from the Wizard here. Some Hades misses, some Hades hits.
It's good to see blue team not overcommitting and getting cocky and rushing in. They're being very patient. They're waiting for red team to get impatient and make a mistake.
Well, they know their loadout's going to be very difficult for the other team to deal with, so they're making the onus of engagement. They're putting it on the other team, giving them the defensive advantage, which is, I mean, it's a really smart thing to do. It's really what everyone should do in this game in most situations, outside of maybe a few specific loadouts, but especially when you are ahead 2 kills. Put all the risk onto the other team, and if either one of them goes down in the engagement, you win.
Yeah. Ruthless chess. Oh, Crown Tyrant
Crown
overcommitting.
Tyrant now.
Here we go. This is what the blue team
Why
were
don't-
waiting for. Now the Ark's just going to completely zone out the Wizard, and the blue team can completely just open up on the Crown Tyrant. Big watch barrage from the Wizard. Managing to get a
And they
couple
got shot,
things
taking a
disabled.
lot of damage.
There it is.
And they got
Nice
shot
play.
going down. Crown
But-
Tyrant needs to stay alive, though.
Yeah,
The Wizard is... I don't know what the Wizard's doing. Maybe turning mine side, but no mines are coming out.
carrying into him. There we
Ooh.
go. Big hits.
Big watch a hit. And I got shot now. Spawn. Pretty good spawn. Coming back in. The Wizard's going to be very vulnerable here to this newly spawned Pyramidian. And the blue team just needs 1 kill. And the Wizard knows that. The Wizard is turning to focus on the Andagot shot as he comes in.
Yeah.
And it all comes
nice
down
play.
to this watch volley.
Think
Nice
he got
one.
the front gun. Oh,
Not-
mine. Boom. Big hit on the end. I got shot. Nice play from the Wizard. Nice, excellent defensive mining. That was beautiful. And I got shot. Red team tying up this game. Amazing play
and
from
Broken
Glowwater.
Submarine now.
Broken
Caught out
Submarine.
in the open. I mean, he's kind of in a weird situation here. He's underneath the ridge with both the red ships above him, and he chose the wrong way.
Oh God.
And Red Team knows this. Red Team knows that the Broken Submarine wants to reunite with his ally, and his ally's going to spawn on the west side of the map, so they predicted him coming out on this side of the ridge, and they are going to capitalize on it. Although interesting, you see the Wizard now shooting on the Anda got shot.
Broken Submarine ended up
Which is-
getting turned around, but he's got his Artemis there. Wizard not focusing Broken Submarine. I feel like if he turns to face Broken Submarine, he'll just, yeah, there it is. Broken Submarine's not long for this world as Merrymen take a loss to the excellent play of the red team. I thought for sure blue team had that in the bag, but man, that one gamble from Scrimstraw
Excuse
just
me.
completely
From
paid off.
Scrimstraw.
That was beautiful. Ugh, nerd chills.
Ooh.
Wow, that was an amazing match.
That was so good.
When I
Very well played,
realized
guys.
I
Very
was
well played.
completely unable to use my side, we just set our
Let's see what the next game's gonna be. I don't know. There's a Cakewatch versus Sky Rating Rhinos game that is not letting me join.
TCD versus Bully Boys. I feel like that's a residual from.
Okay, that one is being Cakewatch versus Sky Rating Rhinos is being casted on the other stream.
TCD
Yeah,
versus
TCD
Bully
versus
Boys?
Bully Boys, I guess. What is this European lobby nonsense?
Oh, it's Gilder Unfettered. Yeah, there's no ref, so I doubt this game is. Feel like that might be it. One game left in bracket 1. So that was easy. I liked how easy this was, just jumping in games as they started.
Alright, let's go TCD TFD. Looks like they're in progress. I think that's the last game. That and the game's being cast on the other stream. And I'm not sure how far into this game we are in Northern Fjords. And of course that bug where if you join a game in progress, you do not get the current score. But it, which
Oh, it's
is
2-3. It's 2-3 for blue.
to who? Okay.
Deadpool Airlines X and Hephaestus and Jormungandr. Okay, so let's take a look at the builds. We have Gap Mortar up front, dual mark on the left side for the Jormungandr. On the Hephaestus, we have a Carronade, Goldfish with Flame, Carronade on either side. On the Rainbow Husky, Hades Artemis. Interesting choice there with Artemis Flamer on the left. Deadpool Airlines rocking the Gap Mortar up front, Carronade on the left.
So looks like so 3-2 for the Flying Dutchman. Looks like they're having a little more success with the double Pyramidian build rather than the we saw in that first game we casted on this stream, the Flying Dutchman versus the Bully Boys. The Pyramidian and the Junker were not staying together. They were not very synchronized. They got split up, and with double Pyramidian, I mean, I guess just made it a little easier to stay together, I guess, especially with the Rainbow Husky bringing the long-range fire. They don't necessarily need to move in synchronously. And Jormungandr taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, he's in the thick of it. Gap Mortar, Hades, Artemis, everything. A little bit of everything. And Hephaestus just trying to take one of them out of the fight, seemingly in vain. Has Rainbow Husky switch targets, and Deadpool keeps on the Jormungandr, but Deadpool looks like he's
Hephaestus
descending way
did
too
take
much.
out Deadpool's balloon in that pass,
Oh,
which
okay,
did
that's
save
what
the Jormungandr. So it was a good play. But I guess now they need to decide what to do next. Hephaestus sinking for the Deadpool Airlines. I think Red Team would have a better go at it, just focusing the Rainbow Husky here, since the two blue ships have such a large verticality between them. But deciding again to split up and go into two 1v1 engagements, and they have the whole disadvantage.
Hephaestus is running. Jormungandr's putting a lot of pressure on the Rainbow Husky.
Really poor decision making. Let's see who's flying on Red Team. See, we have Velvet on the Pyramidian. Niels
Jormungandr
Fuel
going
on the
down.
Goldfish.
Going down to the Hades Artemis on the front of the Rainbow. Hephaestus very slowly being chipped away by the Gap Mortar of Deadpool Airlines. And there they go.
Rip in peace.
Rip in peace. TFTA taking that game 5-2. I'm surprised that Hades Artemis worked so well.
I just realized the skip chat was scrolled up like an hour.
Right? Yeah, that happened to me earlier. I'm like, why is no one responding to me? I'm like, wait, where's my message? And then I scroll down.
Yeah, done in under an hour. You know, kind of disappointed. I feel like it could have easily had all the games on stream.
Chat. Our ships
That would've
couldn't
been
talk to
fun,
each other.
but
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, sorry for
Guys,
the voice here,
TCD,
guys.
didn't
We're
your
gonna
voice
do, we're gonna do.
So I'm pretty sure that wraps us up. I think we're going to join a call with QWERTY and the other caster, and we're going to have a brief kind of closing chat. As much as we'd love to have a community chat, way too many members involved.
yeah, 12 teams playing today. That is a lot of teams. That's a lot a lot of people. And then maybe we can get, because I don't know who's advancing or not. We can
Yeah.
get those brackets on screen at some point, perhaps. And see who's playing in tomorrow's I guess the day 2 of the end of season tournament. Top 8 bracket. Deadpool messaging me in game. Did you enjoy? Question mark. I know you like to watch. Did I satisfy your desires?
Man, Howard's just wall of texting the Skype chat.
Well, he's just talking a little bit about some of the latency issues people may have been experiencing. But I mean, it's tough. You know, this is not like this is a hobby for all of us. Nobody's being paid. We play from our homes, our home network connections. We play from around the world.
Yep.
So there's gonna be latency issues no matter what. You have. I mean, the game isn't big enough to the point where we can start segregating the leagues based on location. We can't have a European league and an American league because then each league would have like 3 teams in it.
Unless you're
it's
in
just
Korea or
something
Chattanooga, your internet is not that good.
Yeah. And those poor Australians with the time difference and the 300 ping to the America servers.
QWERTY's university internet is disgusting, so he does not get to
Hey,
complain.
Was that game 5-3 or 5-2?
5-2.
I think it was 5-2.
I'm like 90% sure.
Yeah, because I don't think I don't think TCD got any kills while we were in the game. From me in the chat, concerning latency issues, that's not about distance, that's about game optimization. It is, to some extent. There are things that you can do in the game code to smooth things out, some type of latency correction, latency compensation. But that's, I mean, that's something that hopefully will improve, in future versions of Guns of Icarus Online, or possibly, I'm not sure how much of that is just due to the limitations of the Unity engine, which is not necessarily designed for a game of this complexity. But I mean, a lot of it does. I mean, at a certain point, if you're playing from Europe in an American server, you are going to get lag spikes at some point, despite any sort of game or latency correction code or smoothing or that sort of thing. It can help, but it won't solve the problem.
We're Just waiting on Cordy to finish his game up. Cakewatch versus.
We could- You could open up the stream on our stream, and we can cast over them. I don't know.
I'm actually gonna do this. I'm gonna open it in Chrome. I could actually just go in game.
No, it's because the spectator spots are full. I already checked.
So this is the right Twitch channel.
Man, when I want a mini map. Where is my mini map?
This is probably about 60 seconds late.
Alright, so we've got 4-3 for the Sky Invading Rhinos against Cakewatch, Lud, and the Xanadu Aspire. We saw the Rhinos bringing this against the Gentlemen 2 weeks ago. I believe it is a long-range loadout with a Hades and a Lumberjack, I want to say.
So blue
And it
team's
led-
Cake, right?
Blue team is Cake, yes.
Okay.
And it led to the longest best of 3 series we've had in Guns of Icarus Online, 3 hours 3 hours long, although this game not being that long. Already 4-4. Not really sure what's going on. But
I was all of a sudden way happier I had to write an essay that day.
yeah. Thanks, Papa.
One by default, all the other teams dropped out of that.
Anubis running into the galleon there. Ooh.
That Hades launch.
I wonder who's flying for blue team.
I assume Rimmer and someone else. Maybe
Didn't
Kirk?
Rimmer's-
Rimmer and Kirk or something?
I think Rimmer quit. I thought he posted about that.
No. He said he quit the forums. That's about it.
Let's see. We have Steve piloting the Spire. Man, not to be a spectator snob, but I don't know about this camera control.
Mine was pretty janky too, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done it in a while, so. That and clouds, dude. Clouds are literally the worst.
Dude, clouds are the worst. How about here's an idea. Here's just something I'm going to suggest. Make the clouds transparent in spectator mode.
So we
Then
don't need to
can
do
see-
like
so we
Ninja
can see the things that are
Vertigo.
happening. I mean, what we do now is we just like spin around the ships until we find some like hole in the texture that lets us able to see them. Kind of.
Yeah.
It's very strange. Very annoying. But you see some stuff going on here. We got some ships shooting guns.
Some hole
sky
getting hit.
piloting.
Anubis may have sealed his own fate. Xanadu comes down. Lud coming back and boom. Sir takes it.
Queen's Verdict looks like taking what they did.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because you're casting from their stream and I'm casting from your stream of their stream. So you're in like a 3 second delay and I'm on like a 6 second delay.
Uh,
Let's see, Orangey and Zium were piloting for Cakewatch that game.
there we go. That has been the group stages of the in-season tournament. Man, we need a better name for that. Like a
How
way
about the
better
Muse
name.
Invitational?
That's good. That's getting there. Oh, I have a predisposition to just really steampunky
Or
names.
the best of one Bucket O games.
Oh, bucket of games. Pretty much.
So I guess there are oceanic servers. Well, 270 ping. So you said something about a call happening between us.
Yeah, I'm waiting on
all of
word from
us.
Curdy.
You got a curdy mouth.
And roll out the fanfiction.
It's okay. Rathburn is asleep and probably drunk. I think we're safe. Man, those are pretty good games, though. I think.
Oh, yeah.
In particular, I really the Zil Thrall's game I thought was really nice.
Yeah, that was grade A.
And also I thought the bully well, no, not that game. What games did we cast? We casted so on this stream, first game we started the day with Bullies versus the Flying Dutchman. And the Flying Dutchman having some guest stars from some other clans. Then game 2 was that.
So it looks
was
like
that
we're gonna
Polaris
be
versus...
moving to Cordy's call. So
Wait, so we're switching to the non-Guns of Icarus stream?
no, we're just
Or-
joining Cordy's call.
Oh, right, on Skype. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave TS, and I'll see you there.
User disconnected from your channel.
Calm down. Duke Nukem. How about this? Lobby, eh? Have that. There we go. Oh, Skype is gonna crash. I can feel it. Click join call. What? Oh God, why would you ever do that? No. Oh God. It is not letting me pick up any Skype calls. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the stream, see if that helps me with my Skype connectivity, because it's being stupid. Going offline for just a minute.